selection of folks from Ottawa, of course. Setting up your meeting for Facebook Live. Okay, I'm going to get started because for some reason Facebook is being funny. Oh, I think we're finally on. Okay, here we go. I'll just let Laura in. Welcome, everyone. My name is Sheila Gallant-Halloran. I run my own travel agency called Lush Life Travel under the auspices of Vision Travel and Direct Travel, one of Canada's largest travel agencies. This is, I think, my 28th edition of Travel Tuesday. So if you can only take one more trip, we want to get dreaming. The world is stop moving right now, but we're all anxious to start again. And these Travel Tuesdays have been helpful to start dreaming. And one of the things we know and that my friend Hilary here will share with us is that people are starting to book their travel for 21 and 22. River cruising especially is something that has taken off, well, the past dozen years, I'm sure, but especially post-pandemic, we've seen river cruise bookings increase, not just because people who had been booked in 20 were reaccommodated to 21, but also in a world post-pandemic, people are going to want to be with smaller groups, smaller space, more intimate, and river cruising is a perfect way to do that. And of course, when you travel on a river cruise, you're dealing with the country that you're traveling through and their regulations. So every country a river cruise ship travels through, their regulations have to be followed. So you're kind of upping the bar constantly to make sure you're being as safe as possible when you travel. And of course, small group travel and groups in general, we've all had to reaccommodate, reimagine how we're going to travel in this new world. So I'm pleased today we have Hilary Brown from a Globus Family of Brands. Hilary, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Sheila. It's wonderful to be on this call today.
Oh, my pleasure.
The slogan Travel Tuesdays. I absolutely love it. I'm used to Taco Tuesdays, but I'll take Travel Tuesdays as well.
And with that, does anyone have any opening questions or anything before we get started that you'd like to jump in? Let me just scroll through the faces here and make sure. A lot of people have their cameras turned off, and that's fine. You can come back in or come in on audio if you wish. Once Hilary starts, I will minimize the faces so we just see her. And if you have questions as she's presenting, you can type them in, or Hilary's open to a more informal conversation as well if you want to jump in. So we can do that. And we'll come back at the end to review and pose any other questions. I'll just mention to folks, this is my 28th. I'm not sure if I said 28 or not. 28th of Travel Tuesday. Just to give you a sense of the last couple, we've hosted Uniworld, Rocky Mountain Air Canada Vacations, G Adventures, CIE Tours for Ireland. Last week was CanLink. We talked about villas, hotels, and long-term stays. This week, pleased to have Hilary with us. And next week, we have Hurtigruten Expedition Cruises. And the following week, we have Quark Expeditions. So you can wrap up all your Christmas shopping by planning some travel. And there's nothing better than planning for yourself. So with that, Hilary, I'll turn it over to you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Sheila. And hello to everyone. It is lovely to see all of you. And it's a new world, seeing us in our virtual world this time. But again, yes, my name is Hilary Brown. I'm here on behalf of the Globus Family of Brands. We have 4 brands under our belt. I've been with the company for 16 years. We have 4 brands under our belt, as I had mentioned. We have our Globus product, which is our first-class coach touring. We have our Cosmos product, which is our value-packed coach touring. We have our Monograms, which is our independent travel Globus product. And then we also have our Avalon Waterways, which today we are here to present on Avalon Waterways. Sheila had mentioned about being a smaller ship. We like to say a boutique style cruising. We have 120 to 166 passengers, as well as we also have our Southeast Asia product on the Mekong, which is 36 passengers. So I'll just go through all this. as Sheila mentioned, let's make it as informal as we can. You know, I won't be able to see the questions, but maybe Sheila, you can pop up and see those questions, ask them whenever you'd like. And again, if anyone wants to take themselves off mute and ask any questions during the slide, I am more than welcome to ask it. As I like to say, let's make this a family presentation, and let's all sit around the table and have a cup of tea or a glass of wine, whatever you'd like, but let's enjoy the presentation. So yes, Sheila was mentioning also that I'm just going to close myself up here. Oh, there Sheila's got it. Okay, so really, again, there we go. Really wanted to talk about Room to Dream for 2021. You know, can't believe we're already in December for 2020. It's been a different type of year that we've had. It's a lot, the pandemic had lasted a lot longer than we anticipated. However, saying that, I just looked at our numbers. Our numbers are down 13% today from Monday, which is fantastic news. Europe, the UK has come out with the vaccine. They're already vaccinating passengers to, shouldn't say passengers, but they're already vaccinating seniors today. So we're already a step further. We're closer to a new beginning than we were yesterday. So there's a lot of room to dream for 2021. So as I mentioned, Avalon Waterways, I should mention that we are the youngest fleet on the water. Our average age is 8 years. We do not refurbish our ships, nor do we rebuild our ships. We only have new ships, which allows us to be more modern, contemporary design. Avalon Waterways, the Globus Family of Brands, is all about the safety of our passengers. It has always been our protocol has always been the safety of our passengers. We've just taken that one step further with our protocols and our assurance for when traveling on the Globus Family of Brands and as well. Oh, Sheila.
Hilary, I just had someone type in, there is interest if perhaps at the end or wherever it's convenient for you to interject to perhaps talk about a couple of Globus trips as well, particularly Oberammergau.
Yeah, no, that's not a problem. We can start that now if you'd like, since it came up. I'm not sure if I have Oberammergau. Let's just wait because I might have Oberammergau at the end of this presentation. So that's a good question with Oberammergau. Yes, that's the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. It happens every 10 years in Oberammergau. It was suspended for 2020, and now we are having our tours for 2022. We have 15 tours that we have, and hopefully I have a slide at those at the little bit later. So, but yes, again, just to remind me of Oberammergau. So wonderful, thank you. So when it comes to Avalon Waterways, we have 80 cruises over 10 rivers that we sail over, visiting 20 countries. So, you know, it's now time to think about the future. It's now time to speak about reconnecting with the world. It's pretty amazing. I was saying that I'm not sure if you were on the line a little bit earlier, but I went up to Blue Mountain with my family and we hadn't been out anywhere. I have a 7 and a 9-year-old, and we all brought our little suitcases. We went for one night, but just the reaction of my children packing a suitcase, and they were saying we were going on vacation. This is the best vacation I've had. It was just getting out, reconnecting with the world. And I think that's really key right now. And again, if we're unable to step outside due to the circumstances, we really have got to dream about the future, really connecting with the future. So now is the time to think about, traveling for 2021. We are, as I mentioned, we are the largest stateroom on the water. Our staterooms are 200 square foot staterooms. We are 30% larger than the industry out there, and we have floor to ceiling open air balconies, really letting the outside in. 100% open views. You got to really think about when your bed is facing the wall. We have also our beds face the view. As I mentioned, really when you got to think history happened by the water. There's not much to look at when you're staring at a wall. as well as allowing our beds to face the view. It has also allowed us to enlarge our bathrooms as well. So again, 200 square foot staterooms, which is 30% larger than the industry out there, really letting the outside in. Now, you know, that's a little slogan that we've always used, is really letting the outside in. But now that's the time that that little phrase slogan has really come into effect. Avalon Waterways does not circulate the air between their staterooms. It's all individual air, again, really letting the outside in, the air from outside your stateroom coming in and out. We do not circulate the air within the ship, the staterooms. We are actually this year celebrating our Panorama Suite, our 10-year anniversary. This is our staterooms right here, 200 square foot staterooms, the bed facing the view, really letting the outside in, 11 by 7 fully open air balcony. We have our TV in our rooms as well, safe fridge. And as you can see, you've got a couch with a chair there, over 100 complimentary movies to watch. And again, the nice thing about our staterooms as well is, when I've done quite a few presentations, and Avalon Waterways, as I mentioned, the youngest fleet on the water, it's really all about how we can improve for our passengers. And, you know, I've done many presentations over the years, and the little things that we do for our passengers, I may not notice, but somebody else does notice. And one of the features, staring at this picture right here, just reminded me, I had a lovely lady mentioned that she really enjoyed our staterooms. Our beds were higher up, which had space underneath to put the suitcases, so you weren't stepping over your suitcases. So again, it's the little things that Avalon Waterways does. So we've actually been voted for the last 4 years from on behalf best staterooms on behalf of Cruise Critic for our open air balcony. So there's another angle of our staterooms, as you can see, really letting the outside in. Absolutely beautiful views. This is an aerial view as well. Again, the bed facing the view, as you can see, with the enlarged bathrooms there. And then, as I mentioned, 30% larger than the industry. You have to remember, when you have a balcony, it takes away from your stateroom. It makes your stateroom that much smaller. So what Avalon Waterways has done is we've pushed the wall out to have a larger open air balcony stateroom. And again, saying that as well is that when we have bigger staterooms, less passengers, more space on our ships as well. So just to keep that in mind. This is our bathroom, Marvel Bathrooms, L'Occitane products. And this is where I like to play Where's Waldo? If you look on the left-hand side, you know what? You can do, well, let's make this fun. Let's make this an interactive presentation. So if there's anything different that you would see in the Avalon staterooms versus being on another ship or maybe in a hotel, I know, as I said, I was just at Blue Mountain. Our hotel had something that is not in this bathroom here. Does anyone want to pop up and try and figure out what Avalon Waterways has done with our bathrooms? Everyone's quiet. Well, I'll just let you know, on the left-hand side, we have brown and white towels. I like to say his and her towels. Honey, you dropped the towel on the floor. No, honey, you did. No, honey, you did. No, pick it up. It's brown. It's yours. Okay, fine. But again, as I said, it's the little things that Avalon Waterways does. And again, as I mentioned, doing quite a few presentations, a gentleman actually during one of my presentations one time said that we had non-slip showers, which again, I've never noticed, but it's the little things other people do notice. So there you go. This is our elegant lounges here. No matter where you are on our ship, there is always a place to sit. One of the questions that I get quite often during a presentation is, where's the best side to be on your ship? And to be honest, it's a panoramic ship. No matter where you sit on our ship, you will always have a panoramic view. There is no wrong side, shall we say, on our ships. All sides are equally a panoramic view. So again, this on the top right-hand side, we have our panoramic lounge. This is where you can sit, relax, as well as we have our outside lounge at the front of the ship on the left-hand side. And then this is our lounge, and the bottom picture here is our lounge in the back. I like to call it our R&R lounge. We've got games back there. We've got books back there. We also have coffee stations on our ship, complimentary at the back and the front of the ship as well. And I'll go through that a little bit further. So again, size is seismatic. It matters really. As I said, we have 36 to 166 passengers. Our count is very, very low versus our crew attention is 3 to 1 on our ships. So again, that equals higher satisfaction. And again, really it's all about smaller ships going into the smaller towns, not being part of the big crowds. We've been in the business, Globus Family of Brands, been in the business for 91 years. We have the VIP access, which allows us to be in and out before the main doors even open into smaller groups, really connecting with the locals. And again, really connecting with the world, having that world experience again. So not a lot of crowds or queues, and that is key right now as well. So again, seeing, not see, there's a bigger difference. Really being close up, we are right in the heart of the towns, far away from all the worry, again, smaller groups as well. But this is where I really want to speak about. I absolutely love this picture. And I always ask us, let's close our eyes. Let's imagine a football field. You can just picture that football field. When it comes to Avalon passengers, if we were to put our arms out 6 meters apart, 6 feet apart, 2 meters apart, you got to think that with Avalon Waterways, we are less than 150 passengers per 1 football field. Whereas versus the bigger ocean cruisers, you've got 4 football fields. Passengers are a lot closer together, and you have approximately 750 passengers on that football field. So you got to think about, better is not always bigger. When it comes to our boutique ships, we have, as I said, larger staterooms, which allows less passengers, more space. Our ratio is 3 to 1 versus 6 to 1. And again, less staterooms versus more staterooms as well. So again, better is not always bigger. Again, we've been voted #1 cruise critic for the last 4 years with our open air balconies. We are impeccably clean. We have a 5-star service. No matter where you're on our ship, you'll always have that panoramic view. You're not in closed quarters. There's always room to sit for all our passengers as well. We have quite a few new itineraries that I really wanted to focus on. In 2018, we came out with our Active and Discovery in Holland and Belgium. In 2018, we came out with our Active and Discovery on the Danube. In 2019, we came out with our Active and Discovery on the Rhine. This year, we came out with our Active and Discovery on the Rhone. We now have our Active and Discovery in Holland and Belgium. This itinerary, as you can see, is going from Amsterdam to Amsterdam, starting in Amsterdam, ending in Amsterdam. You're visiting Rotterdam, Antwerp, Brussels, Ghent, just to name a few, and Middlesbrough. And when it comes to our ships, our itineraries, you'll always have an excursion option, and I'll go through those as well. But absolutely wonderful itineraries here. Another new itinerary we have is the Danube from Croatia to the Black Sea. Another beautiful itinerary. And the one thing about Avalon Waterways is that we also have an Avalon Your Way. You can add, for example, on this itinerary, Transylvania with Avalon, a taste of Croatia with the Globus. You can always add a pre and post, whether, I shouldn't say always, but there's that option to add a pre or post night, or you can add a Globus tour onto our itineraries as well. So you always have a choice of a cruise only, or you can add a pre and post with Monograms, or you can add a Globus tour with our cruises. Doing the Danube. So we have our wonderful itineraries here. We've got our first timers. This is where I would definitely recommend the Taste of the Danube. It's a beautiful itinerary. It really gives you the taste of the Danube. The perfect pick that I would pick for our savvy sightseers is the Balkan Discovery. And then we've been there, done that, been to the Danube. But again, just another different type of itinerary is our Active and Discovery on the Danube. With the Active and Discovery on the Danube, you can pick canoeing down the Danube, cooking lessons in Vienna, absolutely beautiful itineraries. Now, other itinerary, sorry?
We had a question from Helen asking about the normal length of your river cruises. They tend to be about 7 days, but you do have some longer ones, right?
Yes, exactly. We have our shorter stays as well, and then we have our longer itineraries as well. So yes, we have 4 days, I believe, up to 21-day itineraries. So yes, you do have a wide variety, but the majority, the all active and discoveries are 8 days. But you do have, they're approximately a week to 10 days, the majority of the itineraries. We also have our 10-day round trip Cairo to Cairo. Again, this is starting in Cairo for 3 nights and ending in Cairo for 2 nights. Going down to Luxor, doing the Nile River for 4 nights. And if you'd like, you can do an extension on here, adding Jordan with Avalon. You can go down to Petra, stay in Amman for 1 night, and Petra for 2 nights. So again, you can choose the cruise only, Taste of Egypt for 10 days, or you can add Jordan with Avalon, and you can make this itinerary 13 days as well, or 14 days. When it comes to Avalon Waterways, it's really all about choice. We have our north, south, and your way, as we say. So we've got our classic discovery and our active itineraries. Our classic is our must-see sites. Then we have our discovery, more hands-on, engaging experience, learning to paint a Monet or Van Gogh, cooking classes in Vienna, learning how to make schnitzel with potato salad and strudel, all at the same time as enjoying wine. Or you can do an active excursion. You can jog it through Amsterdam, jog through Vienna. You can paddle down the Rhine. You can canoe down the Danube. You can absolutely take a guided hiking tour. You have a lot of excursion choices. The great thing about Avalon Waterways, and we'll speak on behalf of Sheila and myself here, we can take the exact same itinerary, for example, the Active and Discovery in Belgium and Holland. However, one day Sheila could be doing an active excursion and I'll choose the classic excursion. The next day Sheila will choose a discovery and I'll choose a classic. So we can be on the exact same itinerary and have a completely different experience. So that allows you to travel with your spouse, your companion, friend, and have a completely different experience. It's all sailing at the same time. We're an all-suite ship. As I mentioned, the youngest fleet that we have is it was 8 years. We do not refurbish or rebuild our ships. We have 2 new ships that we've brought into our portfolio in 2019. Last year, we brought our Avalon Envision. And this year we have our Avalon View. We also have our Mekong ships here as well, which are 245 square foot staterooms, as I mentioned, and I'll show you those in a little bit while. So again, when it comes to our itineraries, again, you can always add your way with Avalon, Monograms, and Globus. This was just another little itinerary I wanted to mention as well. This is a 7-night itinerary, Central European experience. And I chose this experience just because this is a personal experience for myself. My husband and I were actually supposed to take this itinerary, and it's beautiful itinerary. I've done a few of these ports here, but my husband's never been to on this itinerary. So the thing is, he only had 7 days and we were going to disembark in Nuremberg and he would never have seen Prague. So true story. Prague is truly one of my favorite cities. I absolutely love Prague. I believe that every building tells a story, and we ended up in Vegas. So what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But again, when it comes to these itineraries, one of the questions was, how long are the itineraries? As Sheila has mentioned, our 7-day itineraries, we have our 10-day itineraries, we have our shorter itineraries. But with these itineraries, you can always add a pre and post, as I mentioned. So again, Sheila and myself, just looking at, speaking on behalf of both of us, Sheila can go in, maybe she has longer time. Maybe she's never been to Paris or London. She wants to go there, but she's been to Prague. So she would go in a little bit earlier and she would stay in Paris and Prague. We would meet in Luxembourg City, take the Avalon cruise together on the Central European. I've never been to Prague. Sheila's done Prague already. So she would leave in Nuremberg and I would stay on. So there's a lot of different forks in the road, shall we say, that you can take when it comes to Avalon Waterways. You really can customize your cruise.
And that's something that I think people who might not be familiar with the Monograms brand aren't aware that it's not, you can do a Globus or Cosmos where you're on a bus or motor coach with other people, but your Monograms is really independent travel.
Absolutely.
And I just like to repeat that a couple of times because it's a different way of thinking of traveling that people don't necessarily realize we can do with an established brand like Globus. I've built customized trips for folks to go to Italy and they can pick, standard, you might do Rome, Venice, and Florence or, the typical ones, but we can customize it to build what you want. And that's the ability of doing something with Monograms, is taking advantage of all the relationships that Globus has built up over the years and leveraging that to build something unique for the client.
Absolutely, Sheila. And our Monograms product it's a Globus product. It is fully independent travel product. And when I say it's a Globus product, it's superior first-class product, centrally located hotels right in the center of the city. Superior first-class product, centrally located hotels. We have a local host at all our hotels from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. They are there to help you. I like to say when it comes to a coach tour, you're fully escorted. You're led by the hand. Someone's there guiding you. Whereas Monograms is led by the pinkies. Someone is there to help you when you have those questions, but you are fully independent. They're there to help you with dinner reservations, theater tickets, where to go buy those knickknacks, what transportation to take, adding those excursions. They are there to help you. And we have desk hours from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. as mentioned. But again, this is a great topic. If we one day, I know you're saying this is your 28th travel talk, but I'd be more than happy to come on another Travel Tuesday and we can present Globus, we can present touring, we can present Monograms. So again, if anyone would like to come on and do that, I'm more than happy to present on those brands as well.
That'd be great, because I think the Monograms especially is something that people aren't aware of, and the ability of we can book your flights and your hotels and your transfers, and we can add shared tours if you want, but you can be as independent as you want. And just having the Globus brand and the security of dealing with the Globus brand is fantastic.
Well, yeah, and we can chat about that and set that up. And I'd love to see everyone back on again. So again, it's the little things at Avalon Waterways, our L'Occitane product, Lavazza coffee, complimentary coffee, cappuccinos, espressos, mochachinos, fresh baked cookies in the back of our lounge. We also have teas. I've said all about the coffees, but then again, I hear my clients saying that, well, don't forget to mention the hot chocolate. So we have wonderful hot chocolate as well. And again, we have a fruit tray. It's the least thing that's touched, but there is fruit as well when I talk about the freshly baked cookies. But again, if you want to just sit back, have a cappuccino, put your feet up, just like this gentleman in your stateroom, you're more than welcome, and it is complimentary. We have the state-of-the-art equipment in our fitness room, the least used room. But again, it's the state-of-the-art equipment available for you to enjoy throughout the day as well. And then, of course, we have our staterooms, which we've been speaking about. And again, we're always updating. We have 2 USB ports in all our stateroom, pillow choice as well. And again, you can choose for your bedding to be together or separate as well. So 200 square foot staterooms, as I mentioned, there's a lot of room in there. When it comes to our dining, we speak about, question, Sheila?
No, just a comment from Monica, who said she loved her Globus tour in Spain and she would like to do more. So
it's wonderful.
It's not a river cruise through Central Europe, but a land tour in Spain. And of course, Globus does all of those kinds of wonderful trips too.
Yes, absolutely. As I mentioned, Globus has been around for 91 years. So again, yes, we have the coach touring. Just to, speaking about coach touring, just to let you know as well, maybe you're not ready to travel to Europe right now. We also have Canadian tours. And I'll send you the information for that, Sheila. But we have a couple of Canadian tours as well, which are Canadian passengers only. You need to be a Canadian resident for those tours. And I'll share all that information with you that you can share for your clients and all the dates and everything for everybody.
And I think a couple of the ladies on this group were actually booked on the Special Vision Avalon Christmas market. So we'll have to get back to doing that in 21.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That was definitely a wonderful itinerary for the Christmas time market. So again, so when it comes to the flex dining, you can go down from 7 until 8:30 p.m. And again, if you're anything like me, you have French fries at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You can go down to the dining room at 8:30, have a dinner. So just to keep that in mind. When it comes to the dining room, this is, we have our, you can sit from 4 up until 8 passengers here. And this is where you can have your main breakfast. We also have an early riser and a late riser breakfast in our panorama lounge upstairs. And then we also have speaking about this, this is where I'd like to share about a day in the life of Avalon Waterways. So in the morning, you're going to wake up and you're going to have your full breakfast down here. Normally they were buffet breakfasts, but now we've changed everything to a la carte meals now. That is one of the protocols that we have taken into effect for the assurance of our passengers. So in the morning, you have a choice of an early riser or a late riser or your full breakfast here. Then you're going to go off and you're going to have your morning city tour. After that, you're going to come back and you're going to have lunch. You'll have you'll have lunch here. Again, it would have been a buffet lunch, but we have our full a la carte meal here for lunch. 2 fresh soups made daily, fresh bread made in the morning and in the lunch and in the evening as well. When it comes to breakfast, you have your egg station, your meat station, your beans, your fruit, smoothies, I said egg station, I mean, pancakes, you name it, it's there. Then your lunch will be 2 soups made daily, as I mentioned, a salad bar, a pasta station, a meat station. I know we're getting closer to dinner right now, and I'm sure everybody's getting hungry. But the food is absolutely wonderful. I just did a active and discovery itinerary, and I gained 8 pounds. So just to go show you, it's not active and discovery; it's more hands-on and engaging. And again, it's also the food is absolutely wonderful. Then you'll have your afternoon at leisure, sometimes depending on the itinerary. There are a couple of excursions that we do have available as well. But then you're going to come back and you're going to have dinner here. And your dinner will be a soup, a salad, a main meal, and a dessert. Your main meal will be a fish, a chicken, a red meat, and a vegetarian choice. So just to keep that in mind, complimentary wine and beer is included with lunch and dinner. My husband and I actually fell in love with a bottle Coteron, and I found it in the LCBO a couple of years ago, and it's actually $22 a bottle. So it's not house wines, it's regional wines. So just to keep that in mind as well. Again, if you don't want to sit down and have something downstairs in the main dining room, exactly what you would have been served downstairs, you can have it up here in our Panorama Bistro. This is part of the Panorama Lounge, and it's hot plates. So again, you can just go up and help yourself. And well, now it'll be a la carte, so it'll be served to you. And exactly what you'll be having downstairs, you will be having up here. If you're wanting to go in, maybe you want to just go back to your stateroom, watch a movie, or you want to walk into town, you're going to see a concert. Again, it's your choice of where you'd like to sit. Also with lunch in the Panorama Lounge, depending on season and weather, we also have our Sky Grill where you can sit out and you can enjoy the views here. And it's steaks and hamburgers, salads, again, absolutely. But just look on the left-hand side, look how close we are into town. we're within walking distance to the town. Again, this is where you're not in those big crowds. You're in the smaller towns, as I was mentioning with our boutique ships. We also have complimentary room service, so just to keep that in mind as well. And then this is also something that we also have a picnic lunch. So maybe you don't want to eat on the ship, you just want to get off, you want to sit and relax and enjoy the view. Something that we're not able to do right now with the weather, let's say. You just want to go off and enjoy the picnic. You're more than welcome to have our maitre d' and chef will put a picnic lunch together for you. We've partnered with these two brothers, culinary brothers, 3-star culinary brothers. They're ranked brothers, and they really believe in fresh air, fresh fare, and they've worked with our Avalon chefs for many years. We've partnered with them, and they allow us to have our Avalon fresh dining as well. The possibilities are wide open. Just a couple I really wanted to focus on here is number one is you can see we've got our wine appreciation, beer tasting, garden and nature, our photography itineraries. So we've got a great choice of special interest cruises. The one that I really wanted to focus on is the bottom right-hand side. We have 32 offices worldwide. Even if we have one Canadian on board, we will take you to Juno Beach with our Paris to Normandy's landing. So just to keep that in mind as well. So we really focus on our Canadian passengers. As we were speaking about our short and sweet, it's been a different type of year this year, but again, if you're ready to just get away, you're more than welcome to take any of our short and sweet itineraries. Christmas time and here. We also have our Danube Symphony, Heart of Germany, Taste of the Rhine, festive season. We've got quite a few itineraries here that you can choose from as well. When it comes to Avalon Waterways, we have our Adventure Center, our host, and our apps. When it comes to our Adventure Center, this is where you can sign out, again, complimentary. We were speaking about the picnic lunch. You can take a picnic blanket to enjoy that. We've got our bicycles with helmets. We've got our Nordic walking sticks. We've got Fitbits, yoga mats to go with our adventure host, maybe wanting to do a fitness class, a Zumba class, or a Pilates class. He or she is also there to help you with guiding you a little map when you want to take out your bicycle, or maybe you want to go for a nice walk when you're not doing any of your excursions. He or she is there to help you as well with your activities and excursions. We have a direct embarkation in our Europe-only itineraries. We will take you directly to the ship, and it's wonderful because now you're not sitting at a hotel and waiting until 4 p.m. and waiting and getting tired. We take you directly to the ship. Your stateroom may not be available until 4 p.m., but at least you can go in here, put your feet up, know that you're home away from home, have a bite to eat, have something to drink. Leave your luggage with us. You know it's safe. You can now walk into town, maybe have a bite to eat there if you'd like. But again, you are treated as Avalon passengers the moment you step on our ships. So again, we really want you to feel home away from home. We also go beyond Europe as well. We have our Mekong cruises, the heart of Cambodia and Vietnam, starting in Siem Reap and ending in Siem Reap. And again, Globus is the hotels that we use here as well are Globus hotels. So they are superior first-class products, centrally located hotels. Our ships here, as I mentioned, 36 passengers, 18 staterooms, 245 square foot staterooms. Again, really letting the outside in, allowing your bed to face the view. This is a heartwarming and absolutely beautiful itinerary. My heart warms when I speak about this itinerary. This is truly one of my favorite itineraries, getting to meet the locals, learning the history, absolutely wonderful. We also have the Ganges River, 13 days Delhi to Kolkata. This is on our Ganges Voyager, 56 passengers, 35 crew, starting in Delhi for 2 nights, Agra for 2 nights, staying in Jaipur for 2 nights, flying down Kolkata, and sailing down the Ganges River for 6 nights. Again, an absolutely beautiful itinerary if you're looking at getting away, something away from Europe. We also have our Peruvian Amazon itinerary starting in Lima and ending in Lima, visiting Cusco, Machu Picchu, just to name a few, and sailing on the Amazon. The ship that we are using here is the Delphin 3, 44 passengers, 24 crew, and 4 naturalists. This is my bucket list on Galapagos Islands, the treasures of the Galapagos, 16 passengers, 10 crew, and 1 naturalist. Starting in Quito and ending in Quito, visiting the blue-legged penguins here. Absolute. You can see it. I love it. Well, that's my plan, Sheila. Again, so obviously you've been?
Yes, yeah.
Yes. It's, you know, again, it's my bucket list. I am waiting to go. So,
Well, I thought that's why I wear the shirt today, to just emphasize that, you know, I love river cruising and I love Avalon, of course, but Globus does so much more than just river cruising. And that's why I wanted to give a shout out to what you do in the Galapagos, as well as I was also in the sailed the Peruvian Amazon River last year. So, 2018.
wonderful.
All the years are blending together. It was 2 years ago now. Nobody traveled this year, of course.
Yeah, well, it's funny you say that, because it'll be, you know, I get questions and I'm like, oh my God, I don't even know what day it is today. It's like, I really don't. It's just, I know it's Monday and I know it's Friday, but between those 2 days, I do not know what day it is anymore.
Yeah, never needed a
unbelievable.
calendar so much before, right?
I know, right? It's true. It is true. So I only thank goodness to my kids. They keep doing the countdown to the holidays. That's the only way I know there's a holiday coming up. And we also have our enhanced travel technology. This is our Go apps. This is something that you would download. Again, it's complimentary. 30 days prior, you put in your booking number. And on here, it's, I just want to see if I have the next slide. Yeah, perfect. On here, we have a currency converter. Your day-by-day itinerary is on here. You can pen it, snap it. You can upload your pictures to social media. I mean, everything is on this app. We also have, what do you call it? Download before you go. We have a day with your day-by-day itinerary. You can also pick tabs for where you would like to go. It's a we have an augmented navigation system, which means you do not need Wi-Fi or data to use these apps. And when you're, for example, in Barcelona on day 2, as you can see right here, you can see the itinerary. And then just the next slide beside it, you've got tabs. You've got attractions, you've got restaurants, drinking life, entertainment, shopping, restaurants, cafes, desserts. You would just click on that tab, and then it'll give you a list of the restaurants, the cafes, the attractions. Then you click on that attraction and it'll take you to that museum or that theater. Again, it looks exactly like Google Maps. It's a yellow line that takes you from here to there and there to here again on the reverse. And again, you do not need it's an augmented navigation system, which means you do not need data or Wi-Fi. I absolutely loved it. It's a wonderful, wonderful free complimentary app. So again, we've also, just to let you know as well, we're really trying to make the right kind of footprints as well with our ocean cleanup. And it's funny because since this slide, we've actually gone that much further with paperless, using more of our apps now. But again, in 2020, Avalon Waterways became 100% single-use plastic-free on board our ship. So we do not use any plastic, and we're trying to reduce more and more paper waste as well. And obviously we have, again, taking away from the menus and having it more paperless. So and we also have our refillable water stations as well with our Be Well. So again, we're taking more and more steps towards the future, and I'm very proud to work with Avalon Waterways when it comes to that. We also have our Avalon insurance. It's definitely a different world. I'm just going to focus on this as well. As I mentioned, whoever would have thought a year ago where we are today. But again, we are one day closer to getting away from it than we were yesterday, right? So we really got to focus on the future. However, Avalon Waterways, our number one number one priority is the safety of our passengers. When welcoming on board, you will get a temperature check. Your luggage will be sanitized by our staff with gloves. And so just to let you know that as well. We spoke about the fresh inside, really letting the outside in when it comes to our staterooms. Again, we do not circulate fresh air in between. As well as social distancing. As I mentioned, we're a boutique type of ship, so we have less passengers on our ship. But again, really focusing on having less passengers, more social distancing. Now all our buffets have now been transferred to a la carte. And then when I mentioned the coffee stations, we have staff that will be serving that to you as well. So that's when it comes to touching hearts and not hands. We're really trying to step away from everybody interacting more and really focusing on the touching the hearts and staying away from that. When it comes to the commitment of the cleanliness ships, we are sanitizing our ships throughout the whole ship. In between excursions, as well as when you are on and off the ship, as well as we're taking a one step further and cleaning the soft materials in your stateroom as well. The curtains, the bedding, the couches, not just the hard material, really focusing on the soft material as well. So our commitment is definitely to the cleanliness ships on our Avalon Waterways. And of course, we can't forget about our crew. Temperature checks, they do have to have a certificate stating that there is no COVID. They go through all that as well. When it comes to them stepping on Avalon Waterways as well, we need that. Here we go, Omer Amagao. As I mentioned, we were supposed to have Omer Amagao in 2020. We now have it in 2022. We have more choice, over 15 tours across 3 brands. We have 12 Globus itineraries. We have 2 Avalon itineraries, and we have 1 Cosmos itineraries. We are the only company that has an office and a hotel in Omer Amagao. We are an 8-minute walking distance to the theater, as well as we are including first class tickets seated in category A. This is a bucket list. This is a must-see. The crucifixion of Jesus Christ. It happens in Omer Amagao. You have to have been born in Omer Amagao or lived in Omer Amagao for 25 years to be part of this play. It's an absolutely wonderful experience. Again, this is one of my bucket lists. So yes, we still do have space. It is selling. But again, if you are interested, you do have a choice of Globus, Cosmos, and Avalon. And again, we are the only company that has a hotel and office in Omer Amagao. So just to keep that in mind as well, walking distance, whereas compared to the other companies that are bringing coaches in and then which is 20 minutes out of town, and then you have to wait to get into the town. It's a very small town. So just to keep that in mind as well. Another wonderful benefit to the Globus family of brands that I really wanted to focus on is their peace of mind travel plan. This has come in effect due to COVID. However, I really want to think outside of the box when it comes to our peace of mind travel. So any 2021 booking made with any of our brands, Globus, Cosmos, Monograms, or Avalon, we are including a peace of mind travel plan complimentary. And what this is once you have a deposit on file, as long as final payment is not made, you will have a choice to change the destination, the date, the itinerary, or the brand within our vast portfolio. So let's think outside of the box. Let's think positive now. And you've got an Avalon River Cruise booked for October 2021. And all of a sudden you get that wedding invitation that was unable to happen this year due to the pandemic. And now you get that wedding invitation in June or July. And you're like, oh, that's the week that I was supposed to go on our cruise. As long as final payment is not made, you can change the date, the destination, the brand, or the itinerary. Again, You can change as long as final payment is done. Let's think of another positive scenario. I'm booked on a Avalon cruise again for September, and I'm speaking to Sheila, and she's like, yeah, I'm ready to book. You know, I've booked. I'm so excited to get on a plane again and see the world, reconnect with the world. I booked a Globus tour for November. Oh, I wish I would have known. We could have gone together. Well, as long as final payment's not made, I can now go with Sheila on a Globus tour, or Sheila, as long as final payment is not made, she can come on an Avalon tour with me. So again, as long as final payment is not made, and I emphasize on that, you can change any brand in our vast portfolio, any itinerary, to any date or destination complimentary. So that is key. I absolutely love it. We also have extended this promotion right now. We have an upgrade on us to an panorama suite. This does expire on January the 5th. We've just extended it to January the 5th. It's a $15.99 per person complimentary upgrade. So now when you book your 2021 Avalon booking prior to January the 5th, you will receive the complimentary upgrade as well as the Peace of Mind travel plan. There's no reason why not to sail with Avalon Waterways. You know what? Sorry, it does say November the 9th there, but this is I didn't realize we'd have a different presentation here. I just pulled this up. However, I am, Sheila, what's 2 weeks today?
Today's the 8th, so 2022.
20 December. So sorry, December. So today, the 22nd. Okay. If I'm going to offer this to you as well, if you book by December, 2 weeks, today's December 22nd, we said?
Yes.
Happy holidays. If you book by December the 22nd, I will offer a $200 per couple on top of the Peace of Mind travel plan and on top of the complimentary upgrade as well. So again, if you book deposit by December the 22nd with Avalon Waterways, you will receive a complimentary upgrade, a Peace of Mind travel plan, $100 off. If you're not looking at Avalon Waterways and you're looking at Globus, Monograms, or Cosmos, I will also offer you the $200 off per couple if you book by December the 22nd with the Peace of Mind travel plan.
That's 4 bookings made through Sheila.
Fantastic. I love it. So again, you know, it's about sweet dreams. You got to think for the future. And, you know, I just want to also share that we also do have less, not itineraries, but I'm trying to think of the word. My head just went blank. Less tours, shall we say, for 2021. So again, if you are interested, don't forget passengers have already, who were booked for 2020, have moved to 2021. So again, space is starting to become limited, as well as we also have less itineraries as well in our portfolio. So just to keep that in mind with 2021.
And just to remind people, like your average ship is what, 160 people on board River Cruise?
166. So it's 120 to 166 passengers. Yes.
So you have to remember that after the pandemic, there may be an emphasis to even keep the numbers smaller. Everybody who was booked on 2020 has been reaccommodated to 2021, and we're going to have that increased interest in traveling on something small and intimate. So river cruising is going to explode even more than it has in the past.
Exactly.
So Hilary, I'll follow up with you after and get the exact terms and conditions or the wording for the offer, and I will share with people after, because it wasn't just Avalon, as you mentioned, it was also Globus and.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So it's, yes, $200 off.
Okay, perfect. Shall we open it to questions? Just want to invite people. I'm sorry, did I interrupt you or was that the end of your slide?
Oh, no, we're good. That's
Okay.
yeah. I don't even know what time it is. So I hopefully I didn't go over our time.
Yeah, it's 5:58, so
Wow.
you timed that perfectly. I'll invite you to stop sharing your slide and bring people's faces back on if you have questions. I do know that Kathleen had to leave, I think, but she was asking about Oberammergau, which you've covered, Globus in general, and you kind of gave an overview of that. You don't go to Alaska, do you? Land tours there are, perhaps.
Yes.
Okay, land
Yes.
tours to Alaska.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so if anyone has a specific question about Alaska, let me know and we can find out. One lady asked a question about, I think it was Colleen, on board the ship, the Avalon ships, do the fitness rooms have a view?
Yes, absolutely. Like I mentioned, no matter where you're on our ship, you will always have a panoramic view. So yes, it is an open view as well.
Awesome. Laura, what kind of shirt do you have on today? Laura's my big traveler, and she usually wears something that's, Lansom Meadows. Good girl.
That's for Sheila.
Just for me, she knows I'm from Newfoundland, and
Ah.
Laura and I did an expedition cruise around Newfoundland. Good on you. I was
Wow.
talking with Carla, who is one of Hilary's colleagues, Carla Brake, who is also from Newfoundland, and I was talking about Globus tours to Newfoundland. So, they do have a small group, less than 24 passengers, that does a really good trip around Newfoundland. But there may be a possibility that we might look at doing some private things as well. I have a very strong interest in the UNESCO World Heritage Sites, and Newfoundland has 4. So it's very rare that you get to hit all 4 UNESCO sites on a trip. The Globus trip is quite good. I think you might hit 3 of them. You might hit the 4th, because you do go to Red Bay and you do go to Grossmore, and you don't do a lot of hiking on that one, but it is quite an extensive coverage, and you do go to Mistaken Point and Lansom Meadows as well with the Vikings. So
Yeah.
domestic travel is going to be huge moving forward. River cruising is going to be huge, but 2021 may be the year that you should visit Canada, and Newfoundland is certainly going to be one of the destinations that I'm already getting questions from clients about. I just did my weekly newsletter about Newfoundland, so talked about some options there for visiting Newfoundland. And of course, Vision Direct has worked with Globus as well, and Globus put together a trip for just Canadians to go to the Rockies this summer. Yeah, do you want to share a little bit about that?
Yeah, so actually, so October the 17th, this is a great open to it actually. October 17th, we did a Canadian Rockies escape, which was Calgary to Calgary, visiting Lake Louise, Banff National Park. It was our first tour for 2020. It was Canadians only. Now, when I say Canadians only, having a passport, you still have to be a resident of Canada. You cannot live in the US with a Canadian passport. You have to have a Canadian passport and be a resident of Canada. And yes, they did our Calgary to Calgary. It was our first 2020 itinerary, Escapes by Globus. Escapes by Globus is our off-season product. It's from October until March. It's all the inclusions of a Globus, just half the price and half the crowds. And we were supposed to have 25 passengers. That was our maximum goal. And we actually had 21 passengers booked on our Canadian Rockies escape. It was absolutely wonderful. They did temperature checks. When they went on the coach, everyone wore a mask. It was your choice, because they were in their own little bubble, which was great. They were in with their own group. Once they were on the coach, they felt that they could take off their masks. And again, I found it was wonderful because they actually loaded the coach from the back to the front. On loading off, it was from the front to the back. So nobody really crossed paths when on the coach as well, which is wonderful. Now, I had mentioned about our Canadian tours that we also have for 2021. We're coming out with 2 escapes by Globus as well. I was mentioning earlier for Canadian residents owning a Canadian passport. One of the itineraries that we will be offering is our West Coast Escape. This is 5 days round trip from Vancouver to Vancouver. Absolutely beautiful itinerary. Again, starting in Vancouver, 3 days in Victoria, and ending in Vancouver as well. You're looking at a cost of approximately $12.79 per person. Again, this is a Globus coach tour product, half the price, all the inclusions of a Globus, and half the crowds. The other Canadian tour that will be offering as well is our Rockies Escape. This is 6 days round trip from Edmonton to Edmonton, visiting Jasper for 4 days. Staying in Jasper for 4 days. And
Nice.
yeah, absolutely beautiful. $12.89 per person on that as well. So again, those are our Canadian tours that we will be offering for 2021. Again, all the dates are available that Sheila, you can go in, you can check those dates, and all pricing Canadian, Canadian passengers. And the great thing is right now I say it, but you don't need to quarantine. And that's the great thing about staying in our backyard. You know, and for myself, who's traveled the world, and I'm sure you as well, Sheila, and Laura, it sounds like you travel with Sheila. You know, I've never been to my backyard. This is the time. So, you know, that Canadians Rocky tour or any of our other tours, it's, you know, my kids, we were supposed to go to Disney prior to the pandemic. And I'm not ready to go back to Disney. And I don't think quite a few people are, but I've never, like I said, I'm so excited to take them on one of our Canadian tours. I'm really excited about it. So
Will they be the Canadian only as well?
yes, they are.
Okay, because I love Disney. My family's been almost 30 times, I think. We love it, but I'm not going to be going to Disney anytime soon. But I also have a number of my clients who want to travel even now, but they don't want to travel where the Americans are going.
Exactly.
So that's why I think it's so interesting, just because the numbers are so out of control right now. That's why I think it's so interesting what you're doing about having Canadian only travel. It just kind of, you know, makes it a little bit more palatable for those who are sticking their toe in the water and want to go and travel and be comfortable.
Yeah, so the Canadian tours, just to let you know, as I mentioned, they're starting from the Rockies Escape. We only have 3 departures, and that's February the 16th, March the 9th, and March the 30th. And our West Coast Escape, again, those are 3 itineraries, and that's February the 18th, March the 4th, and the 18th. So it actually, sorry, that's 4 dates. We also have one in April the 8th.
Well, what's interesting is that you're hitting University Reading Weeks and March break.
Yes, exactly.
Good on you. Good on you. For those families who want to travel, of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And for those families as well, just to let you know, our minimum age is the age of 5. So if you, like, that's what I'm saying. I have a 7 and a 9-year-old. So I'm really excited to take them on these itineraries.
Awesome. Ladies, I think it's ladies who are left. We've had some folks have to drop off with other commitments. I will send them a link afterwards. But for those of you who are still on, do you have any questions for Hilary while we still have her? No? Helen, did you? I think she's coming on to ask a question. Your video's in and out. While Helen tries to come on, I just mentioned that I do have a number of solo lady travelers, and just wonder if you could talk about, I know Avalon occasionally will have solo supplements waived on river cruising. Is there solo travel for Globus as well? Is that something you guys have looked at?
Yes, we do have our Globus product. We have our single product as well. Yes.
Okay. Helen, did you have a question? No? Okay. Anyone else have a question? No? Okay.
We have our single share program, or sorry, we have our single program on all our products. So just to keep that in mind.
So single share is you'll match a solo.
Well, at the moment, we're not doing single share. So
right.
would be
Okay.
on our Cosmos product, but we do have the singles offer for Globus Avalon. We do have it for all brands, Cosmos and Monograms as well.
So just to repeat for those who might not have known the different brands before, the Cosmos and the Globus are escorted touring, the Monograms is independent touring, and the Avalon is the river cruise product.
Yes, correct.
Perfect. Well, with that, Hilary, thank you so much for jumping on. I know it's kind of a crazy time in the world of travel, and you're doing a lot of things with less resources than we're all used to. I really appreciate you coming on and joining us today to share your knowledge and passion about the world of Globus and the world of Avalon. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you, everyone. And I wish you all a happy, happy holiday and to stay safe. And I look forward to seeing you on the Globus Family of Brands.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Take
very
care,
much.
everyone. Bye.
Take care.